Joining us right now from Washington is Bill McDermott. He's the co-CEO of SAP, and tomorrow SAP launches a new app for iPhones and iPads that track projects funded by the government's Recovery Act. So a lot going on at SAP. Bill, good to have you back on Street Smart. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Carol. Good to be back.
So you are meeting with a lot of officials. I'm just curious, as they grapple with, what, a $14 trillion debt load, they're trying to close a budget deficit of about $1.6 trillion. What advice can you give the government on how to be more efficient, cost efficient at this point?
Well, there are so many initiatives that can be achieved through data. The idea of managing data effectively is changing everything. For example, if you look at Medicare, you have a $400 billion budget. We know there's a lot of inefficiencies and even fraud in the system. To what extent could you eliminate that if you had real-time data and you could actually get in front of problems before they happen? Because you very rarely collect money after the mistake is made. We want to prevent mistakes before it happens. So big data is one huge way to solve a lot of problems. The other is mobile. What you're finding, Carol, is everybody wants to mobilize the workers, and in fact, some cases wants them to work from home because they'd like to consolidate some of these offices and not spend as much on real estate. So mobility helps you with that. The cloud helps you with that. So there's a real nice convergence of big data, mobility, and cloud coming together in D.C.
Hey, Bill, Matt Miller down here on the stock exchange floor. You guys sell, what, $12, $13 billion of basically efficiency solutions to medium and big-sized businesses all year long. I'm sure when you do that, you go to Amazon, you go to Dell, you give them a pitch, you say, look, I can save you this much money. Give us some ballpark figures. What can you do for the federal government?
Well, one thing that's obvious, Matt, you know, it's nice that you gave us credit for being big. We are big. We're actually about $18 billion in dollars and about $13 billion in euros. If you look at what we can do to help them take money out of the equation, one is you can consolidate to a consistent core set of applications. Many of these agencies have multiple sets of applications. They work in silos. They don't talk to each other. There's immense inefficiency and cost tied up in that. I can cut 50% of the cost going after that alone. Another inefficiency is not having the real-time analytics or the predictive analytics on where the money's actually going and how the money's actually performing. So if you look at the Recovery Act, we basically in 30 days put in a real-time analytics system to see where the money went to stimulate the economy, which states got it, how they're performing with that money, which projects worked, which projects didn't, and we did it in 30 days. Now, these large integrators told the government it would take 1 year to 2 years. So speed around data is huge. And then we have to get these workers mobile because they're tethered to desks and it's killing productivity.
Hey, Bill, as you talk to various government officials, how quickly, you mentioned how quickly things moved with the Recovery Act and your work with that. How quickly do you think, though, various government agencies and operations can change? How quickly? Because, as you know, it tends to be a very slow-moving beast.
Yeah, it's true. But, you know, when you're under a lot of pressure and you're under a lot of constraint, you see innovation happening everywhere in the United States government. In fact, I don't think the United States government or the leaders in the United States government are getting enough credit for the good work that the people are doing each and every day. I've been with them all day today. There's more passion, there's more of a commitment to this country than you could even imagine. The key is we have to get with the people and see what they're doing. They're under tremendous constraint. That's forcing them to rethink everything. And they want to change the status quo by stopping the things that they were doing just for the sake of doing it. Kill projects that don't give you business outcome and go for the things that can change the game. The cloud can change the game because it can radically lower the hardware costs. Mobile can change the game because it gets the workers productive.
Bill, let me ask you about, not a lot of people know, but you, I think before you even finished high school, took a loan, bought a small business out here on Long Island, and then sold it for a profit after you created efficiencies there. We talked to Steve Case yesterday about how the government can encourage small business growth and then create jobs. What can SAP tell the government? What advice can you give them as far as boosting small businesses, boosting jobs?
Well, innovation changes everything. And if we're going to change the game, and create the economy that we all dream of and that we all want and we all know America is totally capable of, we got to unleash innovation. So anything we can do to incentivize business to invest, to innovate, to create jobs, to grow, to expand the borders and the boundaries of their product set, this is what we need to be talking about. Growth. Growth is back on the agenda, and technology is going to be an underpinning of making it happen. What I've always done from the delicatessen to SAP is focus on the customer and where the customer is going. And you have to see around the corner where markets are going. It's going to be financial services. It's going to be high-tech manufacturing. It's going to be reinventing healthcare. These are things that will stimulate the economy. We have to innovate in these industries, and it's going to drive growth.
Got it. Hey, Bill, thanks so much for joining us. Bill McDermott there, co-CEO of SAP.